This is a 2005 Toyota Highlander. It is four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. It's got some noise in the front end over bumps, and there's a little bit of play in the lower ball joints, the front lower ball joints. So we're going to go ahead and replace those. Okay, I went ahead and removed the tire. This is the lower ball joint. It's secured in by two studs with nuts on them and one bolt. And then the ball joint goes up through the steering knuckle, and there's a castle nut with a cotter pin through it. So if you watch, I'm going to stick my pry bar between the lower control arm and the steering knuckle. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that or not, but see the movement? See how the lower control arm comes down, the steering knuckle stays. You can see it kind of expanding right here. That's because there's play in there. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. Let me back you out a little bit here so you're not, well, I want it back. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pull this cotter pin out, if you can. Maybe. Let's see. If you can't, that's okay. Break it off. It'll come out either way. Yeah, this isn't going to come out. It's going to break off. That's alright. There's not a lot of access to get that nut off unless you take the axle out. You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to take, you know, the lower strut bolts out, as long as you can get this thing to turn. So I'm going to spray a little bit of TV Blaster on there, and we'll see if we can break it loose. If you can't get your wrench, or if it's too tight and your wrench wants to slip on it, well, then you'll have to take the axle nut off, take these two bolts out, maybe the tie rod end, pull the axle shaft out so you can put a socket on it, because you can't get the box into the wrench through there because of the axle shaft. Well, let's give it a go here. Kind of sounds like I might have to do that. Let me try one more thing here. I'm going to try to heat it up, but you got to be real careful because the rubber boot right here. So I'm going to go grab my favorite kind of heat shield. Let me see. Usually I have them laying around the shop. I use old license plates. They work great for heat shields. You can see I already used this one. And they're flexible. You just got to be careful though, because I don't know what state you're in, but the Michigan plates, they melt pretty quick, so they're aluminum nowadays. They don't last very long. So let's put a little bit of heat on it. We'll see if we can get that out of there. No, it does not want to cooperate with me. That bugger. I'm going to try to rattle the cage a little bit here. I've got my air hammer, and I'm just going to hit this nut a little bit. I'm going to try not to squish it too much. I know I should be wearing my glasses. I couldn't find them. I lost them. Got it. It's loose. Oh. All right. Let's put a little more PB Blaster in there. Okay. It doesn't look like the nut's going to come all the way off because it looks like it's going to run into the bottom side of the axle shaft, but that's okay. It's nice and loose, so. Yeah, it's going to hit that. Okay. Now before I break this, or before I take these two nuts and this bolt out, I want to break the taper right here so that the ball joint stem is actually loose in the steering knuckle, because I'd have a heck of a time doing it once I take these out. So I'm gonna smack that with a hammer a couple times and try to break the taper and get it so it's loose, and then I'll pull these out. And this looks pretty straightforward. Doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult. See, a couple nice solid hits right there. Well, not enough. It's still in there. Nothing to try against, really. Alright, let me hit it a couple more times. It's loose! Alright! Thought I saw it move. Beat myself up with the pry bar here. I want to pry it down enough to get that nut the rest of the way off of there, if I can. Well, I can't from this angle. Alright. Nope. Now I think that these ball joints have been replaced before. I don't remember if Toyota comes with rivets on their factory ball joints, and the reason I think they're replaced is because I've worked on this vehicle numerous times, and everything on this vehicle is 12, 14, and 17 millimeter, and 21. This is a 15, and these are 18, so that's just, that would seem common in any other vehicle, but for whatever reason, this vehicle, everything's those weird sizes. Yeah, this looks like a, this almost looks like a Mevotech part, which is what I bought to put on here. You can see the axle nut took a little bit of a, or I'm sorry, the nut, the castle nut for the ball joint took a little bit of a beating there, got a little distorted, but it comes with a new one anyway, so that's okay. Okay, here's our new Mevotech ball joint. You can see they're actually stamped L and R, left and right. So I want to start this nut before I put this up in there because I'll be fighting myself if I don't. Got to be somewhere I can pry on that. Let me get these torches out of the way. There's a hole in the control arm here. Not doing much good. Let me try tightening those down, see if it brings that top one into perspective here. There we go. Okay, the ball joint is in, and now we're just going to turn this castle nut to torque the ball joint stem down, and we're going to try to line up the hole. And insert the cotter pin. this pin is up. You want to make sure that this cotter pin doesn't want to reach up and cut into that rubber boot on your TV axle. And that is it. Let's put the grease in it. Didn't have to take the brakes apart, the strut, didn't have to take anything apart, just the ball joint. Fill it with grease so that the grease seal starts to inflate, but don't overfill it to where you blow the edge off and you start pumping grease out all over. Fast and easy, ball joint replacement on a Toyota Highlander. This is a 2005 model. I'm sure the same repair applies to numerous models. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching, especially you guys that watched all the way to the end. Thank you.